Okay, thank you, professors. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to ask a question? Anyone?
Hello, sir. Why are there so many dialogues in your novel and in your short stories? Why do you use so many dialogues?
Perhaps because I write so many plays every year. The ANCHA hostel forces me to write a play. So I began as a dramatist, and then dialogues take you to the very immediate scene, because you watch everyone saying whatever they are saying. There's a difference between showing and saying. When I just tell or say something, then it is me. But if I bring two people, then I'm showing the reader whatever is happening. So by introducing dialogues, I'm able to do a little bit of showing. There are other ways of showing also, by using metaphors and things like that, where you're forced to see things rather than just listen to what is being told. It has been said by Wittgenstein that what can be shown cannot be stated. So the best writers are those who show, like Shakespeare always uses so many metaphors. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. Now he's showing you what you should do rather than just telling you, be wicked, look innocent, So that is one reason why I use dialogues, to make it more immediate to the reader.
And also, my second question is directed to your novel, The Tailor's Needle. In that, the female protagonist, Menika, which caught my attention in particular, I've seen that the lady is altogether a different map or a geography. She's a round character which you have extensively drawn. She has some strokes of Agatha Christie, strokes of Portia from Merchant of Venice, also strokes from Milan the Philosopher, the Maggie Tulliver. So what actually influenced you? What actually triggered you to create such a good character?
I have been greatly influenced by women, unfortunately. So I decided that the most powerful character of The Tailor's Needle will be a woman. And I also know that there are more women readers, so I have to also cater to them. Suppose that Menika was not such a powerful character who was dominating the entire universe of that novel, then women would say this is all right, but it's not that good. So here is a woman who's doing everything, and the man is becoming passive and quietly watching everything. So this is what women like. And this is one reason why The Tailor's Needle took me quite far, I think, because of Menika's character. And then, I have experienced such women in real life. People like Menika, who are very assertive. We are used to the very, very submissive woman in India, but this novel is set in the pre-independent days of our country. At that time, I know of a woman who behaved just as Menika behaved. So, therefore, it is also telling women that you can be more powerful if you want to be. Shakespeare has actually been responsible for empowering women by creating characters like Cleopatra, like Portia, like Rosalind, like Lady Macbeth. These are all very powerful women. So he has told the world that that women can be very powerful if they choose to be. So in my very humble way, I have also tried to do that.
So,
yes.
You said that you are trying to, this collection is basically multicultural. And other thing that you said, that you are trying to define contemporary, what it is to be contemporary, especially contemporary women. So I want to know, do you think that the term contemporary has the same meaning in India and in other countries? I mean, whether it is an universal.
I'm not talking of contemporary as it is to be found in the dictionary. I'm talking about contemporary as it is found in theory books. Alright? Where we are talking of contemporary theories. So what is it to be contemporary? I'll just tell you very briefly. To be able to appreciate the other is being contemporary. I may be a man, but I may be writing for women to a large extent, because I should tell the world this is how a woman would feel in this situation. To be contemporary is not to be savage and have your own way all through, but it is to imagine what it is to be the other. A black man should be able to see what it is to be a white man rather than just criticizing the white man. And a white man similarly should be able to see what a black man would feel in a particular situation. So that is what post-colonial theory and such theories, are. And therefore, the chief ingredient of being contemporary is, to understand what it is to be the other. If people can understand that, like Foster understood when he wrote A Passage to India. He understood what it was to be the other. He could feel what Dr. Aziz must have felt in that situation.